Hi, I'm Aria from Atlanta, and before I tell you a story you'll never forget, please like and subscribe. I lived in a mansion with my single mom, who ran a successful makeup chain. Mom was really particular and a total neat freak, but I was her total opposite, an absolute mess.
Aria, fix your hair. You look like a troll, and wipe that mud off your face.
Since Mom started a career as a supermodel, she wanted me to follow in her footsteps. So when I turned 11, she got me into a huge fashion show. But I took one step on the runway and fell on my butt. Sorry, Mom tried her best to tame me, but I showed no sign of improvement. It was just the way I was. The only person who accepted that was my bestie, Annie. Her mom worked for us, and sometimes Annie would tag along to help her mom out. Not only was Annie super funny and a great cook, she was a low-key genius and would help me study all the time. Why am I not getting this? Am I stupid?
No, you're not. You're just looking at it the wrong way.
She was the reason I didn't fail my middle school, and everyone adored her, especially Mom. She often said that Annie was beautiful and reminded her of herself when she was younger. Mom liked Annie so much that she even invited her to join us on a trip to France. We were having so much fun till this woman walked up to us and said to Mom,
"Oh, wow. Your daughter is so beautiful. Like a fresh daisy."
"Excuse me, I'm her daughter."
Really? Well, I'm sure you have an amazing personality."
I wanted to kick that woman's French butt. It's not that I didn't like her complimenting Annie, but it made me jealous that Mom didn't even correct. And after that day, I just didn't like it when Mom paid Annie any attention. One afternoon, I came home from tennis practice and found Annie and Mom raiding my closet. What's going on?
I'm giving Annie some of your old clothes. Doesn't she look fabulous?
The way they were laughing and prancing around without me, it made my blood boil. I snatched a skirt out of Annie's hand, then started shouting at Mom. "That's my stuff. You can't just give it away."
I'm so sorry, I'll leave. You can be so selfish. Annie and her mother are dirt poor. She could use these clothes. You were never going to wear them again anyway.
I don't care. Next time, ask me before you give my things away like that. I ran to my room and shut the door. But after a while, I realized that Mom was right. I was being selfish, so I packed a few boxes full of clothes that I knew Annie would like and went to her house. I'm really sorry about the way I acted. Here, you can have them all and more. Will you forgive me?
Of course I forgive you. You're my best friend, silly.
Over the years, Annie and I grew closer, and I even convinced Mom to pay Annie's tuition so we could go to the same school. On her first day, I introduced Annie to my friends, but they just laughed in her face.
Oh my God, who did her hair? A blind woman?
Ooh, look at that skirt. It stinks. At least it's better than your stinky mouth. Now, if you don't mind, we have a class to get to.
You didn't have to do that. They're your friends.
Yeah, but you're my best friend. There's a difference, and it's called having each other's back, even though Annie had a trashy first day. Over time, her sunny personality won over all my friends. Not to mention, she was great at everything. Annie tried for the cheer squad, and they made her captain. She baked cookies for the whole class one time, and the kids couldn't stop praising her. She was voted most beautiful, most likely to succeed, and had the highest grades in school. Annie even ran for class president and won by a landslide.
I've never met a girl like Annie before. She's the best. Can you ask her to come to my slumber party?
Why? Isn't that only for close friends?
Yeah, and she's one of us now. You should be happy.
Only I wasn't. I loved Annie, but I couldn't help feeling jealous of how perfect she was. And then one day, while I was having milkshakes with her at the mall, someone spooked me half to death.
Hey, Aria Banana, it was Owen.
He was the son of one of Mom's investors and my childhood crush. Are you trying to give me a heart attack? And look at that! You ruined my shirt.
Oh, let me fix that for you.
Annie quickly grabbed a can of club soda and dabbed at the stain. Within seconds, my shirt was all clean.
Wow, that was brilliant. I'm Owen.
She's Annie, and we're late.
Hey, wait, if you guys are free this weekend, would you want to come for a science exhibition?
Science on a Saturday? How boring. I'd rather stick a needle in my eye. You're such a nerd, Owen.
I'd love to come, great.
I'll text you the address.
As Annie and Owen exchanged numbers, I just stood there in shock. Owen had never been this friendly to me, and I'd known him for years. I'd even asked him out once, but he said I was too young, and he just wanted to be friends. But that weekend, after Annie came back from the exhibition, she told me that Owen had asked her out. What? That's not possible. He never dates girls younger than him. What did you do?
Nothing. We just have a lot in common and talked about science stuff.
I was so shocked at what Annie told me that I couldn't stop myself from running over to Owen's house. You said you don't date girls my age. Annie is 3 months younger than me.
I know I said that, but honestly, I was just politely rejecting you. We have nothing in common, and with Annie, I feel complete. She's special, and I think I'm in love.
You met her yesterday, you idiot. I wanted to punch Owen in the face, but I settled for kicking dirt and walking back home. It took me a while, but I somehow made peace with Owen and Annie dating. But slowly, Annie and I started drifting apart. She had no time for me and was always busy hanging out with Owen. You want to hang out tonight?
I can't. I have a date with Owen.
What about tomorrow?
Cheerleading practice. Maybe we can squeeze something in next week.
And the next week, she made another excuse, and I was left alone again. I turned to my friends for comfort, but they didn't want to hang out either. Not without Annie. I was furious at how quickly Annie had taken over my entire life. My friends, the boy I liked, everything. I was so mad I could scream. So I did. At my driver for driving too slow, at the gardener for cutting the grass too short. I even shouted at the teacher in class. Who the heck cares about an isosceles triangle? It's just a stupid triangle. I went straight to detention after that. I took a seat at the back when this girl spoke to me.
You're Annie's bestie, right?
I have a name. It's Aria.
Oh. Whoa, snappy. I was just saying that your best friend sucks. I hate her.
This girl was the first person I'd met who hated Annie, ever since she joined the school. We got talking, and soon I started hanging out with a new crowd. They liked to ditch school, cheat on tests, and sneak out late on school nights. But the best thing about them was that none of them was in love with Annie. After a long time, I was finally having a little bit of fun. But, as always, Annie had to poop on my parade.
You missed class. We had a really big quiz.
I don't care.
Well, you should, because you'll fail your classes if you don't show up for the test.
Why are you acting like you care? You've been ignoring me for the longest time now, so ignore a little more and stay away.
I'm sorry, I haven't been around much. Maybe we can hang out tomorrow. Owen and I are going to the museum. Maybe you could join us.
Maybe you shouldn't be such a big nerd and mind your own business. Annie didn't bother me after that, and I didn't mind either. I had a new set of friends, and I was happy. Then a week later, the school announced the annual parent-teacher meeting, and it was a disaster. My grades were at an all-time low, and Mom was furious. But I wasn't the only one suffering. Everyone had low grades in my group, and some of them were even failing.
I hate those stupid teachers. They think they can rule our lives with their dumb homework and grades.
My dad grounded me for a month for failing a boring class. He took away my Mercedes. What am I supposed to do? Walk everywhere?
Yeah, teachers suck.
I wish we could teach them a lesson.
Maybe we could.
How?
We can ruin their stupid teacher's lounge. We snuck into the school late the next evening, and we trashed the teacher's lounge. We spray painted the walls, poked the microwave and the TV, and we stuffed fish into the vents. We rushed out of there and ran straight into Annie.
Aria, what are you doing?
I could ask you the same thing.
I was studying at the library. What?
Just then, we spotted Mr. Stilson, the janitor, and I rushed past Annie without saying a word. And the next morning, I was sweating bricks when my friends approached me.
What are you gonna do about Annie?
What do you mean?
The principal is investigating the matter of the teacher's lounge. And if she says anything, we're dead meat.
She won't say anything. She loves me too much.
Okay, yeah. That explains why she went behind your back and stole the guy you liked.
I didn't want to think about it, but my friend was right. We could get expelled, and someone had to take the fall. So I made a decision. And later that day, I walked up to the principal's office. But to my surprise, Annie, my new friends, and the janitor, Mr. Silson, were all there.
Mr. Stilson just told me how he saw you and your friends in the hallway after the teacher's lounge was vandalized.
I don't know what Mr. Silson said to you, but my friends and I were there to study. In fact, I saw Annie come out of the teacher's lounge.
What?
She was the one who vandalized the teacher's lounge. I even saw her putting some of the paint cans in her locker. You can check if you don't believe me. The principal checked Annie's locker and found 2 cans of spray paint that I'd hidden there. Annie was expelled immediately. And after that day, she just never came to my place with her mom. I didn't expect her to. What I'd done was horrible. A few days later, I finally built up enough courage to apologize.
How could you do this to me?
I'm sorry, but I had no choice. I would have been expelled. It would have gone on my permanent record. I couldn't let that happen. I am supposed to take over my mom's company one day.
But I lost everything.
Not really. You didn't have much to begin with. And honestly, you weren't even supposed to be at that school. You land on your feet. You don't need a college degree to be a maid. Annie slapped me, then slammed the door in my face. The next morning, her mother quit, and they left. I tried to reach out to Annie, but she ignored my calls. Couldn't blame her. I hated myself for the things I'd said. Things weren't the same after Annie left. My new friends ditched me soon, and all the other kids resented me for getting Annie kicked out of school. When I went off to college, I tried to make new friends. But they were either really shallow or just wanted to use me for my money. I felt so lonely, so I focused all of my attention on my job at my mom's company. But on the day of my mom's retirement party, she called me into her office.
I've decided not to name you CEO of my company.
What? But I've been working so hard. You promised that I would take over once you retired.
I did. And I appreciate your hard work too. But this business is all about making relationships, and you're not good at that.
I'm not? You have to give me a chance.
Honey, there are no second chances in business, and you're really not cut out for it.
And now she was telling me that after all the time I wasted in making Mom happy. I felt betrayed and lost. Now I know how it feels when someone you trust stabs you in the back. This is exactly what I did to Annie. And if I had to start over in life, it had to be by apologizing to her. I looked Annie up online and learned that she had married Owen and moved to California to become a celebrity chef. She owned one of the most popular restaurants in Hollywood. I paid a fortune to rent out the restaurant for an entire night and ordered Annie's most famous dish. After I was done, I made a special request to thank the chef. When Annie came out, I took one look at her and started crying.
Arya? Is that you?
Annie, I know you probably hate me, and you should, but I have to say this. Your friendship was the most valuable thing I had, and I threw it away. Please, please forgive me. I wish I could turn back time, but I can't.
Hey, listen. I'm not holding on to any grudges. Whatever happened is in the past now. I was really angry for a while, but I've moved on. And so should you.
With that, she took me home and made me meet her young daughter. And on that day, I vowed to be better. A better friend, a better person, a better version of me.
Hi, I'm Donna, and my life is a total mess. Before we dive in, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. My mom raised Anna and me after my dad left her for a chick. She's always been super overprotective, especially when we talk about boys. So, she always makes us repeat this phrase like it's some kind of oath.
We're noble women, and we won't date anyone until we're 30.
But that doesn't change the fact that Mom is amazing. She does everything to give us a better life, often working 2 or 3 jobs. Anna, who is 3 years older than me, was usually in charge of watching over me when Mom wasn't home. One day, when I was 7, Mom left me at home with Anna. I was painting, and I accidentally spilled paint all over her fave clothes.
What the heck are you doing? Oh, my poor dress.
You can wear this new one.
I quickly made a dress from paper and old magazines and gave it to her. My sister just gritted her teeth, holding back her anger. I didn't even care about it for too long because at that moment, I heard the neighborhood kids playing at the playground nearby.
Sis, let's go skateboarding.
Boring.
How about catching fireflies?
Lame.
Oh, I guess you like bed jumping. Don't worry, I won't tell Mom.
Donna, stop!
Anna stormed into her room and slammed the door, leaving me wondering why she didn't like these fun things. Anna became strict and irritable from always having to watch over a naughty kid.
Donna, no ice cream before bed. Donna, stay away from fire.
One day, Anna went to a friend's birthday party, and Mom allowed her to stay there overnight. However, I suddenly got sick.
You can't leave your sister alone at home. She's just 8. I can't take her to work due to my company rules. Anna, I'll keep my promise to you next time.
Anna was furious and threw a vase, shattering it in front of Mom. Mom was completely shocked by her behavior.
Mom, listen! I'm not her mom, you are. It's your responsibility, not mine.
I know, but I have no other choice. I've tried my best. Just one more night, sweetie, please.
Anna gave in to Mom and stayed home to take care of me. But as soon as Mom left, Anna snuck out, leaving me alone. I tried to get up to get some water, but unfortunately, I slipped and fell down the stairs, severely injuring my leg. When Mom came home and found me unconscious, she was furious. After calling an ambulance, she instantly called Anna, but Anna had turned off her phone, which made Mom even angrier. The next day, when Anna returned home, Mom scolded her and punished her severely, locking her in her room and banning her from seeing her friends for a long time. Well, she took out all her anger on me. She wouldn't even look at me or sit with me during meals. I felt guilty, beating myself up, wishing I hadn't gotten sick that day. When I turned 15, Mom started taking us with her to help her at work. She was working as a servant in a huge mansion. Anna still couldn't stand me and was always looking for reasons to pick fights. So, Mom bought us 2 guitars.
You two should learn to play these instruments because it helps you stay calm and clear-headed.
Anna wasn't interested in learning guitar. She was only focused on clothes, doing her makeup, and talking about Mark, a guy she had a crush on while working there. I had never met Mark, but from Anna's descriptions, he sounded handsome. One day, while Mom was working in the garden, I snuck into the lady of the house's room. She had a beautiful piano, and I couldn't resist touching it. Suddenly, Mrs. Maria walked in.
I'm sorry,
You're such a musical talent. I've enjoyed listening to you play for the past hour. And can you play the piano along with the saxophone?
I've never tried it, but let me give it a shot.
She picked up the saxophone, and I began playing the first notes on the piano. We created such a beautiful symphony together. She praised me endlessly, and then showed me her collection of trophies from various music competitions, revealing that she had once won first place in a global piano competition.
Oh, I was amazed that not only could you play the piano, but you also played so smoothly. Maybe you need a younger partner.
Then she introduced me to her son, Mark.
She's Donna. Her musical talent is truly impressive. How about you two test each other's levels with a little competition?
Oh, he's so handsome! But I'm not going to be swayed just because you're handsome. Come at me, bro! In reality, I was super nervous and pressured, even though my piano skills were quite good. Just as the competition was about to start, my mom walked in and pulled me out.
Oh, sorry, ma'am. This kid is just so mischievous.
Mom, we were about to have a piano competition.
What competition? With Mark? Do you think you're up to it? Instead, go out and sweep the yard. What night?
I tried to explain that Mrs. Maria was really impressed by my music skills, but Mom kept ignoring my words. She forbade me from going into that room and said I couldn't go to work with her.
You know, he's the son of my boss. My boss. Besides, I don't think you need to be reminded that you're a noble woman and you won't date anyone until you're 30.
Oh, lame! Not that crazy oath again. The older I get, the more I think it's the stupidest thing. Besides, I never had any intention of going out with Mark. For Anna, it's different. She thinks Mom made those weird rules because she was hurt when Dad left. Anna is always dreaming about Mark and a fairy tale wedding. When we got home, Anna was cold to me and even threw the guitar out the window.
Hey, you're crazy? What's wrong with you?
Why did you dare tell Mom that I like Mark?
No, I didn't say anything.
When I went outside to pick up the guitar, I saw a luxury car parked near our house. It was the driver from Mark's family. He walked in, handed Mom some documents, and then left. I immediately ran to my mom.
Mom, what's happening?
Mrs. Maria offered to sponsor you for the Continental Piano Contest.
I'm on cloud 9. This could be my only chance to chase my dream. Of course, my mom knows that, but she seems to be hesitating on making the decision.
Please, Mom, let me go. I promise I won't let her down.
Listen, sweetie, you're still too young.
Just as I was about to object to Mom, Anna suddenly appeared.
Mom, I can go with her. Besides, we can't turn down Mrs. Maria.
Please, Mom.
Stop, I need more time.
But after finding out the prize is 1 million, Mom immediately agreed.
Okay, you can go. But remember the promise you make every night and always listen to Anna.
We'll be flying to North America on Mrs. Maria's private jet, and Mark will be coming with us. Before we board, Anna has set some rules for me.
First, no talking to Mark.
She even stated that this is a great chance for her to get closer to him.
Do you remember what Mom said? You have to follow everything I say, or there will be no piano for you.
Yes, sis.
There's no point in talking about it. I just see Mark as a rival, nothing more. I ignored him throughout the trip, but Anna kept finding ways to get his attention with her silly stories.
Do you know why the rabbit lost the race to the turtle? It tripped over its teeth.
But when we landed, Mark approached me and invited me to visit some charming places in New York.
Oh, sorry, but I'm here for the competition, so I need time to practice.
Oh, let's chill out, Cupcake. I just want us to hang out and talk.
Cupcake?
Well, I broke the first rule, which made Anna furious. She rushed over and dragged me into a corner.
Hey, what the heck did you just do? Don't think I won't take you back right now.
Wait. He started the conversation. But speaking of going back, wasn't Mom clear that we're not supposed to date before 30? Why are you still clinging to Mark? You're not respecting the oath.
Oh, sorry. But you know, this isn't home, it's New York. Mom isn't here, so I am the rule.
Thank God, what happened next felt like a dream. My performance was the highest, while Mark only came in third in the first round.
You're so sick.
Maybe we don't need any more little contests, right?
Soon after, my piano performance went viral on YouTube, and people from around the world praised me. Mark and I were invited to an interview after that day. When a reporter asked him about me, he said he had never seen anyone as talented as I am before. Then he surprised me with a big hug. Of course, Anna stood outside, gritting her teeth and smashing her phone. As soon as the interview was over, Anna unleashed her fury on me.
You're a jerk. No. Everyone saw you hugging Mark. Respecting the oath? What a terrible liar.
You got buttons for eyes? Clearly, he's hugged me first.
And you're second.
Anna wouldn't listen to my explanation. She snatched the phone from my hand and called Mom, lying that I had failed the competition. I angrily grabbed Anna by the hair, making her drop my phone.
I've had enough. You're just a moron who's 3 years older than me.
Ow! How dare you!
We started to tear into each other. Unfortunately, after one push, Anna lost her balance and fell down the stairs. She then screamed in pain.
Anna, are you okay?
Anna passed out, and the doctor said she had a mild concussion and needed a few days to rest. I felt so guilty about what happened.
I'm sorry, Anna.
Shut up! And go away! I'll tell Mom all about your lies.
Anna wasn't entirely wrong. I had broken my promise to Mom. After everything, I just wanted to go home as soon as Anna was discharged, and I even considered withdrawing from the piano competition. While I was waiting backstage, Mark gently came over to comfort me, holding an expensive pastry in his hand.
Why don't you take it to the hospital to make up with your sister?
Oh, the chocolate pastries are so sweet. I always wonder why he cares about me so much. Is it just because of my musical talent?
I think you shouldn't give up so easily. It's your dream, isn't it?
Thank you. I know what I need to do. I won't let Mom and Mrs. Maria down.
Take a deep breath. Don't stress too much. Your face is turning red like usual.
I can't believe it. He's more subtle than I thought. Besides Mom, no one else knew about it. The next day, I performed without my best. But surprisingly, I still came in first place. I was thrilled when, unexpectedly, Mark hugged me and...
You make me so happy. How would you feel about us being more than friends?
What? No, I'm not allowed to do this.
Actually, I've had feelings for Mark since the day he met me backstage.
I know. Anna told me about your mom's rules, but I really like you, and I want to be your boyfriend.
I walked away without saying anything to him. And then, as usual, I visited Anna with her favorite pastry.
That day, I was just pretending to call Mom out of anger. In reality, I couldn't bring myself to let you give up on your dream.
OMG! What's going on today? Is Anna really caring for and loving me, or is it just a lie for some other scheme?
But what about you and Mark?
Oh, sweetie, I haven't liked him for a while. You know, you're a talented girl, and I'm just a foolish, rebellious person who acts high and mighty. I was truly jealous of you, so when I found out Mark liked you, I tried to stop it out of envy that you would have everything. I'm sorry.
Anna, I understand.
I walked over and was about to hug her.
You, stay away. You've got snot all over your face.
Thank you.
We laughed joyfully, just like we did when we were kids. The next day, Mark and I went to pick up Anna to go home, but her stuff was gone. We rushed to the hotel, and she wasn't there either when Mrs. Maria found us.
Anna had to go home last night. Mom had an accident and is in the hospital.
Mom!
I rushed out the door, heading to the airport, when Mark grabbed my hand, stopping me.
Wait, Donna, we can talk to your mom on the phone. You can't give up on your dream here. She only has some scratches from the fall. She'll be okay.
But they need me right now. Anna hasn't fully recovered yet.
I understand you're worried. My mom has arranged for someone to take care of them.
Exactly, sweetie. Do your best at tomorrow's performance and make your family proud.
I reluctantly stayed behind. The final round of the competition was extremely challenging, with many well-known competitors. I gave it my all, and in the end, won first place and $1 million. The crowd erupted in cheers, and Mark came up to me, pulled me closer, and kissed me.
Is this love?
When we returned home, Mom and Anna were waiting at the door. Anna was smiling, and Mom had tears in her eyes. She was proud of me and admitted that she was haunted by past fears. She was afraid that if we started dating, we might face abandonment like Dad did with her.
Well, but anyway, you broke the oath and must be punished.
Hi, I'm Sophia from New Hampshire. Please like and subscribe. My sister Ivy and I are twins. Dad left before we were born, so I never knew him. Mom raised us on her own, and she was just something else. When we were babies, Mom forced us to wear helmets every day, except for when we slept. We even wore helmets in the bath when she wasn't washing our hair.
Mommy needs you to wear these, so you don't bump your heads and die.
She even placed mats all over the house. When Ivy and I were learning to crawl, our home felt like a massive soft cushion. Worst of all, Mom never allowed us to go outside, except the nearby grocery store sometimes. And she took us to the park once a year on our birthday. But it was only when the house was empty at night, and we were stuck with online homeschooling. The world is full of kidnappers, diseases, and other terrible things that can harm you girls. Neither Ivy nor I understood why Mom was so strict, but I was always getting into trouble. I would bang and kick the walls or throw and break things. I hate this house. Mommy, I want to live outside like a panda.
Pandas do not get brand new iPads.
Yay, I get to play Candy Crush. Ivy never realized that Mom only bought us fancy things to keep us distracted, so we wouldn't try to escape the house. The only enjoyable part about being indoors was when Mom played music on the radio. My favorite was the rock station. But one time, I turned up the volume so loud that it felt like the house was shaking.
Ow, my ears.
I'm taking away this radio. You're lucky you didn't make us all deaf.
I hated Mom, and I was pretty sure she hated me. One day, when I was 8 years old, I woke up to Mom standing on my bed, drilling something into the wall. Mom, what are you doing?
I'm installing alarms that detect anyone trying to go out your window. This way, no kidnappers can get in, and you and Ivy can't get out either. Look, darling, I bought you a giant doll for you.
At that moment, something inside me snapped. I grabbed the giant doll and threw it hard at the window, smashing the glass. And then I jumped outside. Mom screamed. She leapt outside to catch me, but I was running like a lunatic. When I was certain I had gone far enough, I paused to catch my breath. Then I began doing a happy dance. I was free. Suddenly, I heard noise and stomping in the background. A bunch of guys with drums and guitars came marching down the street, and I was so thrilled. I never thought I'd hear music again. As they came closer, one of the guys called out to me.
Why are you hiding behind that tree, little girl?
I don't know. You might kidnap or kill me. Mom warned me about people like you.
What are you talking about? This is a music parade. Come sing with us.
Before I knew it, I was marching with the parade and singing along. It turned out I was a pretty good singer too. But all of a sudden, I saw Mom and Ivy running to me with about 10 cops. Mom took me straight to the doctor to make sure I didn't catch any diseases from being outdoors. For the next 4 years, that was the last time I ever got to be alone.
From now on, I'm never letting you or Ivy out of my sight. I'll work at home. You girls will move into my bedroom.
Ivy and I couldn't even go to the bathroom without Mom standing outside the door. But one night when I was 14, I saw Mom asleep and snuck upstairs to the attic. I needed a moment to myself. But when I got there...
Sophia, what are you doing up here?
What are you doing up here? Are you having a date?
No, duh, we're having a date. I did everything to escape all your mom's crazy alarm systems.
Wow, Ivy, I thought you were Mom's good little girl. But don't worry, I'll keep your little secret. But just then, Mom came running upstairs.
What on earth is going on here? Who on earth are you? Get out of my house this instant.
Mom, stop. You're embarrassing me.
Do you know what embarrasses me? That one of my daughters was on a cozy date with a kidnapper or a robber.
I jumped in and said, "He's neither of those things. He's my boyfriend." Mom grabbed a baseball bat in the corner as she swung it towards Ivy's date. He ran down the attic as fast as he could. That's when Mom burst into tears and started to pull her hair and yell like a toddler.
That boy in the house could have kidnapped you both. I've done everything to keep danger out of this house. But I failed. I have to send you girls to a strict boarding school with security cameras in every single room.
Good. Send us to boarding school. I'm tired of living with all your crazy rules.
But I don't want to go to boarding school. This is so unfair.
But 2 weeks later, Mom sent us away to boarding school. Ivy refused to talk to me there, and I couldn't take the tension between us. Please don't be mad at me. I even tried to keep your secret. I can't help it that Mom's a psycho.
Just leave me alone.
I grabbed Ivy's arm, but she pulled away. At that moment, Ivy tripped and fell straight to the floor. She started to cry and tons of teachers came running. I'm sorry, it was a total accident.
I think I broke a bone.
You sound just like Mom. Just because you fell down doesn't mean you broke a bone. But it turned out Ivy broke her leg, and an ambulance took Ivy to the hospital immediately. I probably should have gone with Ivy to the hospital, but something in the hallway made me forget all about Ivy's accident. There were all these photos of famous musicians. In the center was a musician that looked just like my mom when she was a teenager, and the name under it was also Mom's.
Hey, fancy bumping into you again.
I turned around to see the guy from our attic. Aren't you my sister's boyfriend?
Nah, your sister and I just had that one disastrous date. Why were you staring at that picture?
I think this is my mom. She looks exactly like her and has the same name, Jen Zelda.
No, that's Jen Zelda, a teen rock star, but she stopped making music a long time ago. That psycho lady who tried to hit me with a bat is definitely not her.
It's not funny. You don't know what it's like to live with a crazy mom who hates you and spoils you at the same time.
Why do you think I'm in boarding school? My parents sent me here because they don't want me around.
Wow, I'm glad someone else's parents hate them too. I mean, not glad. You know what I mean? Listen, I need your help. I know it's impossible, but I need to find out if that girl in the photo is my mom. Nolan and I spent days researching Jen Zelda, but we couldn't find a picture of her that wasn't old. And no matter what, we couldn't find a reason why she quit her career. And Mom was nowhere on the internet. She was always worried about creeps and kidnappers finding out where she lived.
I don't get it. Just ask your mom about it.
She wouldn't tell me anything. She's crazy. She doesn't even let me listen to music, even though I love singing.
You like singing? Me too!
Before I could answer, I heard a noise behind me. I turned around to see Ivy in a wheelchair.
Sophia, where have you been? You never visited me in the hospital.
Ivy, I'm so sorry. I meant to visit you, but I found something crazy about Mom.
Wait, what's Nolan doing here?
I meant to tell you I transferred here and that your sister and I like each other.
Wait, what?
What do you mean like each other? You never visited me because you were hitting on a guy I dated. Sophia.
What? No, that's not it at all. Get off me. Nolan. Ivy could barely walk, but she limped away as fast as she could. I went after her to apologize, but her door was locked and Nolan followed me around all week.
Come on, I really like you. Ivy will get over it.
I wanted Nolan to leave me alone, even though he was cute and interesting. But when we both auditioned for the school band and got in, it was impossible to avoid him. I really wished Ivy would talk to me so I could tell her what I discovered about Mom. But she just wouldn't, and it was all I could think about. Could it really be that Mom had just been a completely different person before? And what happened to her? 2 weeks later, the day of our show arrived, and just as I stepped onto stage to perform, I froze in my spot. Mom was in the audience. Suddenly, I couldn't remember any of the lyrics to my song. I stood there completely blank as the band played on.
Get on with the song, you freak!
Oh, a loser!
All of a sudden, all the kids started throwing. I wanted to disappear, but then I had an idea. Hey, who wants to hear a former rock star sing? I want to welcome Jen Zelda to the stage. I wanted to see how Mom would react.
Jen Zelda isn't here! Idiot! Her career ended 30 years ago.
Everyone continued booing and throwing things at me. That's when Mom walked on stage and grabbed my microphone.
I knew this school wasn't strict enough.
Hey, it is Jen Zelda.
Mom, is it true you were a rock star?
Never mind that. They let students be in a band. Bands go out at night with gang members and crazy people.
Mom, just sing with me!
Oh no! I know everything you girls have been up to. I downloaded apps on your phones that let me read your messages. This school is stupid and unsafe. And I came here tonight to take you both home.
Mom grabbed my arm and tried to drag me off stage. Kids were laughing like crazy.
It'll be fun. I bought a horse for you and Ivy. I'll go bring him.
What are we going to do with a horse? Why can't you just act normal for once and just sing with me?
Haha, who knew Jen Zelda was a psycho?
I had never felt more humiliated. Before I knew it, I screamed, "Security!" My yell made my mic screech across the auditorium, and to my shock, security guards came running on stage to take my mom away. She cried and kicked her legs in the air.
I need to take them home. I even brought them their own horse.
I felt awful seeing the security guards take Mom away. But she was acting crazier than ever. I thought I'd call her the next morning to see how she was. But just then, Ivy came to my room and said the principal wanted to see us. Ivy and I walked into his office to find him sitting with another men.
Girls, you won't be seeing your mother for a while. She's in the hospital.
In the hospital? Is she hurt?
After what we saw on stage, we did an investigation. Your mother has a condition.
A condition?
It's called schizophrenia. Her brain works a little differently. She worries about things that other people don't worry about.
But she was a singer, wasn't she?
She was an incredible musician. Her condition is why she had to stop. But don't worry, girls. Your mother is in the hospital getting help, and you'll be able to see her soon.
Ivy and I were totally silent, walking out of the principal's office. For the first time in my life, Mom's weirdness sort of made sense. I wonder if that's why Dad left Mom. Because of her condition.
Dad should have taken care of her and inspired her to sing again.
A few weeks later, Ivy and I visit Mom in her treatment center. She was so happy to see us.
I'm so sorry about everything that's happened. And Sophia, I'm so proud of your talent. Music runs in our blood, honey.
In a couple of months, Mom was out of treatment and back home. It took a while for Mom to let go of her crazy rules. She never became completely normal, but she was so much happier. She told Ivy and me all about her life as a rock star. It turned out she and I were more alike than I ever thought.
Jen Zelda really is your mom. And even though she's a little different, she gave you a killer singing voice. You're really going places, Sophia.
Nolan and I ended up dating all throughout high school. At the end of my senior year, we got a job at a production company. We had the opportunity that year to perform in a world tour. One day, I came into work with a present I'd bought to surprise Nolan.
You bought me a baby, babe? Is this your way of telling me I drool?
No, it's my way of telling you I'm pregnant. I know we only finished high school, but I love you, and I want to start a family with you.
What do you mean you're pregnant? We're going on a world tour. It's even in the contract. Don't get pregnant.
I thought you'd be happy.
Happy that you'd want to throw all our dreams away? Happy that we have to pay thousands of dollars to this company?
Maybe this is a sign we shouldn't go on this tour. Then we can raise our baby without anything holding us back.
I love you, and I don't want anything to hold us back. But I'm not ready to be a dad, Sophia. And I'm not going to raise this kid with you.
Nolan, are you leaving me?
I'm sorry.
My life only consisted of two things the next 9 months: pregnancy and debt from all the money I owed the company. I even had to move back in with Mom temporarily.
Don't worry about anything, sweetie. You can raise the baby right here.
Thanks, Mom. Just as long as you don't make him wear a helmet. Ivy and Mom were right next to me in the hospital when I gave birth to my perfect baby boy, Miles. Suddenly, I heard a voice behind me.
Is it cool if I hold him?
Nolan, what are you doing here?
I came to meet the mother of my son and to tell her that I made the biggest mistake of my life leaving her. I know you're not going to forgive me, but I want you to know that I've paid off all the debt to the music studio. I love you, Sophia. And I love our son, too. I always will.
So come back here and hold him then. Miles wants to meet his dad.
You can tell him I'm not going anywhere.
Hello, I'm Anne. I'm the oldest of 3 daughters in my family, and it's clear that I'm my mom's favorite. I believe I'm the happiest person, and my mom is the most amazing person on this planet. But before I go on, please like and subscribe. My mom loves me more than my sisters because I'm smart, and, well, my sisters are a bit silly and mischievous. When I was in 3rd grade, my mom started yelling at them during parent-teacher conferences because they were failing all their subjects.
Why are you such dummies? What have I done wrong? That God is punishing me by giving me daughters like you?
But when it was my turn, my teachers couldn't stop praising me because I had won so many prestigious awards.
Yes, I thank God every day for giving me a daughter like Anne.
But when we got home, suddenly Sherry grabbed a chair and threw it at me, causing me to fall and get hurt. Mom punished her and said she wouldn't be allowed to have dinner that night until she wrote, "Please forgive me, dear sister," 1,000 times. But when Bella handed me the paper, it said, "Next time, I'll get you, witch." One day, some guests came over, and Mom asked me to make a wonderful glass of lemonade. When I served them, they all took a sip, then spit it out, coughing like crazy.
Good God, that's disgusting. It tastes like soap.
Wait, what? That Sherry must have done something to it.
See, Mom, I keep telling you, Anne hates you. I don't know why you love her. I can do everything better.
Shut up! Sherry made a mistake. I mean, she's perfect. Even perfect people can make mistakes sometimes. Go be useful for once and go get us some coffee. Anne, darling, You can go back to studying now.
Sherry looked furious. She dragged me to a corner, pushed me down, and then ran off. What a witch. But thank God our youngest sister Gloria is nothing like her. She and I are really close. When I'm busy studying, she always takes care of me. I love her so much. When I was in 8th grade, I saved up my allowance for months to buy my mom a nice sweater for Christmas, and she loved it. But when I came downstairs the next morning, I saw Sherry warming her hands by the fireplace, and Mom's sweater was burning in the flames.
Oh my God! Sherry, what did you do?
I was cold and we were out of wood. And I like watching things burn. And I hate you. And I hate Mom. Maybe one day I'll set your hair on fire while you're both sleeping.
I lost it and attacked her. As we were fighting on the floor, Mom and Gloria rushed in. They were shocked and pulled us apart.
Sherry, you're a mother's worst nightmare. You don't have looks or brains or any good qualities. And you're so jealous of your sister because you'll never be what she is. You'll always be a failure. I'm going to send you away to your aunt.
I was really mad at Sherry, but I didn't want that.
No, Mom, please don't. We're a family and we have to stay together. I forgive her, okay?
I don't remember asking you for forgiveness. Oh, witch!
Bella pushed me away and walked off. I cried for hours because the sweater had turned to ashes. After Mom threatened to kick her out, Sherry was careful not to do anything too obvious, but I could feel her hatred growing. I always had the feeling she was plotting against the rest of us. When I was in 12th grade, we had to attend our cousin's wedding, and she handed me the ring to hold. As soon as we entered the hall, many of our relatives surrounded us.
Oh, Anne, darling, I want you to meet my daughter. I'm always saying I want her to be just like you.
We hear all about your wonderful achievements from your mother. Your daughter is a little Einstein, isn't she?
Mom and Gloria looked at me with pride, but Sherry gave me an evil smile. As she walked past me, she deliberately stepped on my foot.
Little Einstein, my butt. They'll see who the real genius is one day.
Oh my gosh, she really is a psycho. As the party was about to start, I realized that Gloria had disappeared without a trace. I was searching for her all over the building when suddenly I heard a faint noise coming from a storage room. I opened the door and found Gloria lying on the floor, crying.
Oh my God, what happened?
Oh, Anne, thank God you're here. I asked someone where the bathroom was and they sent me here. Then I tripped over something and sprained my ankle really badly. I can't walk.
As we were getting ready to leave, we suddenly heard the door slam shut behind us and the sound of the lock clicking. No matter how hard I pulled, the door wouldn't open. We kept banging on the door and shouting, but no one heard us. A few hours later, the door suddenly burst open and we saw a police officer standing there with all my relatives behind him. Then my sister lunged at me and started hitting me.
Anne, you witch! Where are my rings? You ruined my wedding?
Oh my gosh, what's going on? Oh, it turns out my cousin thought I was going to run away with the rings like a thief. The wedding didn't happen because everyone was out searching for me. All our relatives glared at me as if I were a criminal. There was no way I could prove otherwise. But of course, I knew Sherry was behind locking Gloria and me in the storage room. A few weeks later, Mom came to me one morning and told me about a national science competition with a first prize of $50,000. She told me to enter, and I signed up right away. I studied hard for weeks. More than winning the prize, I was focused on making my mom's wish come true. A few weeks later, Mom rushed to me with the news that I had won the competition. While we were hugging, Sherry showed up and said,
Toot, you're jumping for joy, just like Anne gonna give you all the money. Poor dumb Mom.
Shut up, Sherry. As if I even want my baby's money. It's all for her career. She's going to become a great scientist, remember? Maybe she'll hire you as a cleaner for her science lab. Now, Anne, it says here in the letter that the prize money will be sent in a couple of months, so you'll have to wait a little.
Well, it's been a while since I've seen Mom this happy, so I guess I got what I wanted. I applied to NASA's Youth Space Program, and I was over the moon when I got selected for the 3-month course. Of course, I expected Mom to be overjoyed, but when I got home, she had some shocking news to share. She had been fired.
I'm so sorry to ruin your amazing news. This should be a really happy day, and I'm so proud of you. But how will I manage without a job? How will I send you to the program?
Mom, it's a fully paid scholarship, so you don't have to worry about me at all. And the prize money will be here soon too, and you can use it all for your expenses.
Oh, darling, I couldn't possibly do that. I'll start looking for a job right away. But thank you for being the most amazing daughter in the world.
The day I left, Sherry didn't even bother to see me off. She was too busy with her pointless activities, hanging out with bad boys.
Mom?
Gloria and Mom gave me tearful goodbyes, and I headed to the airport. I only had a small amount of savings for the next 3 months, so I ate just 1 meal a day and didn't spend on anything else. I couldn't ask Mom for money. I didn't want her to work herself to the bone. I finished the course a few days earlier than expected. I bought gifts for the family and decided to come home without telling them I'd be back sooner.
I'm so glad the prize money came before Anne did. Oh, Mom, you're just wonderful how you've made that genius a fool all these years.
Yes, baby, I am the only one with Einstein's mind. But you're really good, too.
Hey, have you guys forgotten me?
Of course not, darling. You're the worst. Your acting is an Oscar-worthy performance. The way you made her believe you're her sweet little sister, I'm so proud of you.
She has no idea how much I hate her. What a moron.
Yes, she is a moron, and so was her mom, and your father too. He left the child of his affair on my hands and thought I'd raise her like a princess for nothing.
She's about to get back in a few days. Ugh.
Oh, don't worry. She'll go away to some university on a scholarship. Of course, after that, she'll be too busy working like a donkey all her life and well sit back and enjoy. When I got home, I unlocked the door and let myself in.
Mom, Gloria, I'm home, guys.
The two came running down the stairs and flung their arms around me.
Anne, I've missed you so much.
Oh, darling, I can hardly believe my eyes. You have no idea how I've lived without you these past months.
I was so restless to see you too, Mom.
I gave them their gifts, and they both loved them. Sherry, on the other hand, just threw my gift in the trash and stormed off without saying a word. Ugh, how rude.
I'm just gonna go put my things in my room.
What's the rush, Anne? Just relax for a bit.
I'll just be back in a minute.
When I walked into my room, I was shocked to see money everywhere. Mom and Gloria came upstairs and said that the organizers had just sent over my prize money.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm gonna deposit this money in my bank right now.
But is that necessary, dear? Well, just keep it safe at home.
Mom, we really need this money, so I just can't take any risks. Just let me know whenever you want it. For anything.
When I got home, Mom took all of us out for a wonderful dinner. I was truly happy to be back with my family. A week later, one morning, I heard Mom screaming frantically at someone. I ran downstairs and saw the police standing there.
Are you out of your mind? How dare you tell me I'm trespassing? I'm on my own property. This is my house.
Mom, this notice clearly states that you and your daughters, Sherry and Gloria, are living here illegally, and the rightful owner is Miss Anne.
Oh, hello. That's me. And yes, Mom, it's true. But you already knew that, right? See, I talked to Dad's lawyer and saw his will. It turns out that this house is in my name. So I suggest you do what the nice officers are saying and just leave.
And how can you talk to me like that? I was going to tell you about the house one day. Of course. Why have you turned against me, my darling?
Because I found out you've been against me from the very start. When I came back from my internship, I heard you all talking in my room. I was standing outside and I heard everything.
No, you misunderstood us.
Anne, let me explain.
Just stop this acting now. It's all over. I guess Dad knew you wouldn't take care of me too, Mom. So he decided to do it himself by leaving me this house. I really loved you and would have done anything to make you happy. You played me but you made a mistake. I'm good-hearted, but not a fool.
They were all crying and begging for my forgiveness, but I just told the police to kick them out. I was truly hurt by what they had done to me. Right after my cousin's wedding, I knew they had set me up, but I chose to forgive them. However, they still kept trying to harm me, wanting to take all the inheritance my father left behind. The day after it happened, I sold the house and moved to Paris, where they could never find me again. I left everything and everyone from my past behind, and now I'm living my best life.
Hi, my name is Emma and I'm from Washington. Don't forget to like and subscribe. My parents abandoned me when I was just born. Thankfully, a wealthy man took me in from the street to be a servant in his mansion. I slept in a storage room. It wasn't bad, but I always wondered what the other private rooms were like. One day, when the owners were out, I sneaked into a luxurious bedroom. OMG, it's so bouncy and soft! I climbed onto the bed and jumped around playfully. Suddenly, someone appeared outside the door and shouted at me.
Ew, maid! What the heck are you doing in my room?
She is Amy, the boss's wife. At the same time, the boss also walked in.
Darcy, where did you find this rat?
Keep your cool, darling. Hey, kid, why are you here?
Oh, wait, let me check if she's stolen anything. Don't try to flee, maid.
No, I didn't do that, but can I take this bed to my room, or at least let me jump on it one last time?
Oh, what a mischievous girl.
When I turned to the Amy, she was glaring at me. Terrified, I ran out of the room. A few days later, I met the boss's daughter, Emily. She was introverted, so I took the initiative to befriend her. Despite our 4-year age difference, we became besties. In the next 2 years, Emily even insisted that her father send me to the elite school with her, and he agreed. On my first day at the new school, I was very anxious, but my classmates were very friendly, and we quickly became close. I excelled academically, scoring straight A's on tests, but poor things is, Emily kept getting F's. I tried to help Emily with her homework and realized that she struggled with understanding. I tried talking to Mrs. Amy to find a solution, but she thought everything I said was just made up.
Come on, darling. Our girl is only 8 and still has plenty of time to learn.
But ma'am, I think Emily is having some difficulties with her communication and—
Shut up! It's not your place to speak!
On Amy's birthday party, she announced in front of many people that Emily would recite a poem for her. But you can guess, Emily couldn't read and stood there trembling. All eyes were on her. I couldn't let her be in this situation any longer, so I stepped up to the stage, took the mic, and said loudly, "Well, she's just a bit nervous." So we read it together. Emily leaned close to me and whispered,
Thank you, Emma.
The boss realized his daughter was truly struggling. The next day, he took her for an evaluation, and the doctor diagnosed her with dyslexia. He arranged for a special tutor and asked me to help Emily. Years passed, and Emily gradually overcame her problems with our support. She even achieved excellent academic results and won numerous medals in various subjects. At Emily's 14th birthday party, while I was preparing food in the kitchen, she called me to join them.
Emma, you're not a maid, you're my sis. Let's enjoy the party.
She picked out a stunning dress and told me to wear it. Suddenly, Mr. Amy rushed over, snatched the dress from my hands, pulled Emily into a corner, and said something to her. Mr. Darcy tried to lift my mood by asking me to take pictures with Emily.
Come on, Emma, you've helped her so much.
But as I approached, Emily suddenly became agitated and pushed me away.
Dad, I'm tired. Can we stop this stupid party?
My boss was left speechless and she walked away, leaving us stunned. What's wrong with her? The next morning, when it was time to go to school, she told the driver to leave me behind, so I had to take the bus. When I bumped into her in the school hallway, I asked, "Emily, why are you acting so weird?"
Please, take your dirty hands off me, rat!
Wait, OMG, what did you just say? I was jaw-dropped. What was happening felt like such a nightmare.
Why are you so close with my dad?
Actually, I was also curious why the boss seemed to treat me better than the other servants. Emily, he often asks me to help you.
Call me Miss Emily, okay?
Well, Miss Emily, you really let me down. I swung my hand and accidentally slapped Emily, causing her to fall to the floor. I tried to pick her up, but she suddenly lunged at me and pulled my hair. We struggled on the ground while our classmates yelled in excitement. The fight only stopped when the teacher arrived, and we were both suspended for a week. I was so angry that I couldn't even look at her. The older her got, the more she seemed to resemble Mrs. Amy. Arrogant and harsh. On the next few days, Brian, her cousin, returned from France, and she was thrilled because she really got along with him. That night, while I was reading a book, Brian approached me.
You're smart and kind, right? I've heard how you've been helping Emily with her studies.
Oh, it's my pleasure to help Miss Emily.
Well, by the way, aside from studying, what else do you enjoy?
I love sing and dance.
Ah, we're on the same frequency.
We went to the studio and I started humming a song. He seemed to be completely immersed in every single melody. But I didn't expect that Mrs. Amy and Emily would catch us together. That night, Emily texted me, asking me to come to her room. When I opened the door, Emily threw a book straight at my face. It was the gift I had given her for her birthday last year.
Get this trash out of here and go away, rat! Why are you trying to take everything from me? Acting like a poor cat to make my dad take you home, and then trying to seduce my cousin!
Hey, stop suspecting that Cat is sneaking carrots. I didn't take anything from you. She grabbed scissors and rushed toward me. Emily, you're psycho!
You better watch what you say! Underestimating me could be your last mistake!
Your anger has turned you to evil! I pushed her aside to escape from her room, feeling both scared and angry, wondering why she'd become so weird. The next day, Brian suggested to the boss that he wanted to take me to France with him so they could enroll me in a talent dance class. Oh my gosh, this was an amazing opportunity for me to pursue my dream. I jumped for joy.
Are you guys dreaming? Crazy! Your nephew will take my servant to nowhere. He's not allowed to do that.
But why?
No means no. The rat can't have a lavish dinner.
Brian clenched his teeth and left immediately. I cried in desperation. A dream life had appeared before my eyes, but it vanished like a nightmare. One day I will leave this house, escape from cruel Amy and her ungrateful daughter. That Christmas night, the snow was falling heavier. The next morning, when I woke up, I found a beautiful dress on my bed along with a note asking me to wear it for the family party. How family? Do I have a family? I flipped the note over and saw the boss's name. That evening, I ran into Emily, and we both stood jaw-dropping for several seconds. What?
Oh, how adorable. You two look like real twins. Do you guys like the dresses?
I put on a fake smile as Emily shot me a harsh glare.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen! An outfit won't turn a rat into a swan!
Immediately, she grabbed the fire extinguisher and sprayed it straight at me.
Emily, stop!
Something unexpected happened when Mrs. Amy snatched the extinguisher from Emily and yelled at her.
You lost your mind. You could hurt her.
You just lost control! Are you siding with her, Mom? I hate all of you!
Emily stormed off, and for the first time, Mrs. Amy was acting like that. A few days later, Emily went live, sobbing and fabricating an entirely false story.
Today, I'm going to expose a deceitful jerk who has ruined my family's happiness. Emma, the witch, has managed to enchant my dad, my cousin, and even my beloved mother. My dad made a huge mistake bringing that dirty servant into our home.
What the? I burst into her room, using all my strength to stop the live stream. Soon after, her parents also rushed into the room.
Emily, stop that. We didn't raise you to behave like this.
If you keep acting like this, we'll have no choice but to send you to reform school.
Mom, you said Emma is a vixen, and you were the one who came up with the plan to teach her a lesson, right?
Emily's words shocked both me and Darcy.
Oh, it seems like Emma is actually the most beloved person in this mansion. So here's no reason for me to stay here any longer.
Emily laughed like a maniac and walked away. What's happening?
Emma, please let me explain. You are my daughter. Years ago, I met and loved your mom, Lily, but both families opposed our marriage. Your grandparents arranged for me to marry Amy. Your mother couldn't accept the truth and hid you from me. By the time I found out, she had already passed away and you were placed in an orphanage. The reason I lied and called you a servant was to protect you from trouble. It was all my fault. Please forgive me.
That night was really like a roller coaster for me. Darcy even showed me the birth certificate and DNA test results to prove what he was saying.
Freak, oh, so you were lying to me. You married me because of family arrangements, and it turns out...
Mrs. Amy burst into tears as she charged at the boss, and chaos erupted as they started to fight and argue. I stood there like a statue while Emily walked over and laughed with delight. At school, Emily constantly tried to make my life miserable. She spread rumors that turned everyone against me, hung me out of a window, and put snakes in the bathroom. The torment didn't end. When the boss was away on business, she made me do all the household chores, prohibited me from studying, and scolded and berated me terribly. Of course, Darcy had no way to step in and stop what was happening. On the day the college results were announced, I was accepted into Harvest. It was finally time for me to escape this hell. But before I could celebrate, she and Emily burned the acceptance letter and other important documents, preventing me from starting school on time. My anger reached its peak. Why are you so freakish? What have I ever done to you? Emily has become so cruel because of a witch like you. You'll get your karma.
Jerk, get lost. You worthless piece of trash. You don't belong here. You should go back to the filthy place you came from and behave like your mother did.
I couldn't hold back any longer. Keep my mom's name out of your stupid mouth. I grabbed the nearby broom, ready to give them a beating. Suddenly, my dad grabbed a broom and said,
"Don't do that, Emma!" And both of you, stop bullying her.
I left in frustration, moved out of the house, and found a new place to stay. I took on part-time jobs to pay for my tuition. I thought my college years would pass like this. One day, after my shift ended, I saw Emily standing outside the door.
Emily? I'm so sorry.
She started to cry.
I know how good you was to me. You taught me, played with me, and protected me from bullies. But I was selfish, thinking you took all the attention from Dad, Brian, and Mom. I realize now that the life I have is something you deserve too. Can we become sisters again?
I understand, Emily. I'm not holding a grudge against you, but maybe I no longer have a chance to go back to that. I smiled warmly at her when suddenly I heard a familiar voice.
Emily said everything I wanted to tell. I used to resent you because your father cared too much about you. I know you're a kind and understanding. Go back to where you belong. Your dad misses you so much. Please, Emma.
Is this what you've been waiting for all this time, Mom?